What's going on, everyone? So, De'Aaron Fox could end up having a hamstring injury, a mysterious hamstring injury, as it was put by Spurs reporter. So, according to him, De'Aaron Fox may end up having this hamstring injury that they're trying to hide. That he was in contact, and then that contact has kind of fizzled out. Like no one is returning or answering any of the questions, basically being left on red, so to speak. But according to Spurs reporter, De'Aaron Fox's status remains unclear as neither his camp nor team officials have responded to inquiries about escalating rumors of a significant hamstring injury, one that could potentially sideline the All-Star guard for months. Mysterious sources have gone silent on whether Stars guard suffered a serious hamstring injury. Well, if this is true, this makes things kind of interesting, right? Depending on how severe, then he should be fine and be ready to start the season, right? Because you're 2 months away from training camp. However, it would suck if he ends up not ready for training camp because this is his first year being really integrated. This is looked at as, this is the first year we're going to have a training camp with, Victor Wembanyama and Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox and all that. So like this offseason is so crucial for this team. It would suck if De'Aaron Fox is going to miss, between now and October or, mid-October or maybe November, because now, yes, he'd be back, essentially 10 games in or whatever, 15 games in, but he would miss so much of the important kind of steps in getting this team involved, right? You got Mitch Johnson, who, I have my concerns about him, but he's going into his first full year, so he's going to try to implement and put together everything. De'Aaron Fox is due a new contract extension, right? If he's having these little injuries and stuff, right? Last offseason, he ended up having the hand thing, which he played through and finished the season, or not finished the season, but finished, his tenure with the Sacramento Kings and then with the Spurs. And then when Wemby went down, he decided to get it taken care of. But a lot of people were like, why didn't he get it taken care of in the offseason? Like, why did he wait so long to get it taken care of? I think he was going to play the entire season. But then when Wemby goes down and then, the Spurs are essentially packing it in at that point, I think it was just like, hey, go do. I just wish that they would have had him do it immediately, right? Like as soon as Wemby went down, your season's over. Like, what are you playing for? Like, go, try to. I mean, granted, there's only one spot better than number 2. So, and I think it looks like it worked out because of Dylan Harper. But this isn't good and it doesn't bode well because there's already so much rumor and speculation and reporting about like, Spurs and how they feel about De'Aaron Fox and, that they might end up looking to move him and trade him and all this stuff, right? I've talked about it, right? All these reports and news and rumors that keep coming out. Yes, it's entertaining. Yes, it's, stuff to talk about, but it's like now you follow that up with him potentially having a significant hamstring injury, right? Because the concern is when they don't respond. Because let's say he had just like tweaked it or whatever, just kind of pulled it a little bit, and it's like, man, it's like, hey, he's gonna need he's rest for 2 weeks and it'll be fine. If it's one of those things, then usually they pick up the phone and go like, he's fine, it'll be okay. It's just, he's gonna be out. We're just gonna rest him a week or two just for precaution, and then he'll be fine, right? Like if usually that's how this goes, but when they start going, static, when the line goes dead. That's when it's like, okay, something may be concerning here. And look, it could be as simple as they're just trying to figure it out, right? They're trying to see, maybe they're waiting on results, whatever. There could be a million things. I mean, I hadn't heard anything about this until just now, right? Until I saw the report and I was like, oh, hey, let's talk about this, right? Because I haven't seen, there's rumors about it, like growing rumors and speculation. Like I personally, again, I don't know and see everything. I'm just taking reports. I'm not an insider or anything like that. I'm just taking the news and stuff, relaying it to you guys, and just giving my thoughts and opinions on said news. That's all this is, right? Not some, insider or reporter or have sources or anything like that. I'm just a guy on the internet, right? Like just a fan, right? Like that's all it is. So to me, I look at it as like, but I'm scouring, I'm looking through all these reports. I haven't seen or heard anything. You'd think that this would be pretty significant on, Spurs posts and, all the reporters and stuff. But granted, it is speculation. So, maybe a lot of these Spurs people don't want to talk about it because it's speculated. They want to wait until they get, clarification one way or another, which is probably the best approach with something like this. Like the trade rumors and signing rumors and all that stuff. Like, that's fun. Like, that's just entertainment. That's fun. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the potentials, how likely it is, that, whatever. But you talk about an injury that could, affect his contract. There's already talks about the Spurs not wanting to give him a full max or give him the full years, right? Like, now it's like, okay, well, you were injured last offseason, you're injured this offseason, you're not even going to be able to do training camp. Again, assuming that this is significant, you're not even going to be able to do training camp. And, we don't even know how you're going to be next year, right? So do the Spurs just kind of let this year play out and then talk about it in the offseason? But then you run the risk of him walking. Like, it's just like this has the potential to complicate things more than it's already complicated. Again, I say potential because, look, Spurs might not care. They might just be like, hey, look, we're going to go and we'll just give you the money regardless. Right? Because, again, we're going off of essentially the telephone game, right? Like, it's this person saying this and then that. And then, by the time it gets to you, it's like, okay, so what is it? Right? Like, so where is the truth? It's a completely different story by the time we get there. Right? So, I talked about, like, Spurs could line up De'Aaron Fox's contract perfectly. Right? Like, I could see, maybe like a 3-year full max type thing. It would probably be the compromise in the middle, because by that point, now Stephon Castle's going to get his contract, and then Dylan Harper will get his. So you can kind of line it up to where he falls off, and then now all these contracts start to kick in. So you kind of better balance the books for you if you're the Spurs. Because again, I've talked about this team is going to get expensive, and they're expensive quick, right? But last thing you need is a hobbled De'Aaron Fox all season. You're trying to make the playoffs. You're trying to be a good, gifted team. Now, this might be great for Dylan Harper, but, you also want to have that stabilizer, because as good as Dylan Harper might be this year, he's going to have his slumps. He's going to be rocky. There's going to be games where you're just like, ooh, this guy needs work, right? Like, even Wemby had games where you're just like, oh, man, I really wish we had that one back, right? Like, it happens. It's part of the growth. It's part of the development for these young men, right? You're going through this roller coaster of a ride that is, just development, right? As a young player coming into this league. But we'll, I'll keep an ear out for it. I'll keep my eye on, how this develops. I do, assuming that this is true, do have my concerns that, it's gone radio silent, because that's usually not a good sign. That's usually people want to talk about stuff when it's good. If it was like, hey, dude, De'Aaron Fox is fine. Usually that's a good thing. Or if it's like, hey, De'Aaron Fox, like, yes, he had a little nagging thing. He'll be fine in a week, right? Like that kind of thing. Usually when it's good news, they're willing to talk about it. It's usually when it's the bad stuff where it's like, ooh, But anyways, always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.